Hafa and welcome to Uno Mix. I'm your host Tyler Matinani and thank you so much for joining us. We cannot wait to feature businesses and people in the community that are making big waves on our small island. To start off, if you're thinking about what to get the special gals in your life this holiday season, look no further. Our first guest is a new local jewelry business that is merging Pacific influences and giving it a modern twist. Here's Ilili.
Locally owned, handcrafted, and culturally inspired, Ilili is an up-and-coming jewelry line created by two Palauan sisters, Shannon Wong and Denalyn Giramore. With each piece telling a different story, we first need to know where it began.
What really inspired us was this family heirloom that we had. And it's basically a Palauan money necklace. And it's something that my mom had worn for the longest time. And I always wondered, why did she wear this all the time? It's so bright, it's so yellow. I soon discovered that this necklace represented our status, our class, and it basically told the history of my clan.
The story behind a tiny stone sparked the idea to bring a modern twist on traditional style jewelry. Shannon and Denalyn continue to utilize traditional materials such as polymer clay and draw inspiration from both their culture as well as nature.
The ones that I'm wearing right now, they're inspired by the rattan furniture and design. So I noticed that a lot of people are into that, as well as plants and flowers. Rather than just selling jewelry, we're sharing our story with others. And it's been just a great experience, honestly, meeting new people and getting good feedback. A lot of the times we're given suggestions. And with that, we're learning more about our culture. So it's been great.
And just in case you were wondering, no, you do not have to be Palauan to wear Ilili. Shannon, who is Chamorro and Palauan, helped create the brand to learn more about her Palauan roots.
I was born here on Guam, but I was raised by my Palauan mother. So in a sense, I was privileged to be Chamorro and grow up here on Guam, but in a way, I did feel disconnected to that Palauan side, and that's the reason why I created this jewelry. It's because that Palauan heirloom that I had inspired me, and I wanted to learn more. So our jewelry is for everybody and for anybody who wants to just connect, and it's for women too, who want to just express themselves, connect, and we would just want to build a community basically of women.
Shannon says that in the future, they hope to expand into other crafts, such as home decor. They'll be having a new launch on November 7th, and they tend to sell out quickly, so make sure to mark your calendars and follow them on Instagram at ilili.jewels.
Shout out to Ilili because these earrings are my new favorite. When we come back, we're cooking things up with a couple of girls from the Micronesia Climate Change Alliance. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Uno Mix. I'm Tyler Matinani. Now, I hope you guys wash your hands during the break because we're heading over to the kitchen to cook up a little something with the girls from Micronesia Climate Change Alliance.
Fangaisi, from the Chamorro root word gayasi, meaning mercy or compassion. Together, the phrase asks everyone collectively to have compassion. The Micronesia Climate Change Alliance, along with a bunch of amazing women in Guam's community, came together to bring Guam's first plant-based Chamorro cookbook, written entirely by women to encourage conscious, compassionate eating. MCCA's Francesca De Oro.
The way we chose that word was based on compassionate eating and conscious living, which was what we wanted to introduce with this concept of a plant-based cookbook, because due to industrial farming practices and the treatment of animals as well as the treatment of our own bodies, a lot of our food systems have become out of balance, and to have compassion and consciousness about our diet is something that is good for all of us, good for climate change, good for our bodies, and that was basically what we wanted to share with the cookbook.
The cookbook was a huge collaboration with a bunch of local women.
I wasn't actually part of the first group of women that got together to brainstorm this idea. It was mostly Michelle from MCCA, my sister Manyaka from MCCA, and Tawny from Z's Green Canteen, and I included just a few of my own little short recipes.
Francesca says other food content creators, including Debbie from The Earth Kitchen and Veroni Sablon from The Holly Vegan, who's also the artist for the cookbook, brought the idea to life. Francesca says much of the work that they've done to decolonize and indigenize and make their diets more plant-based sparked the idea to create Fungaisi. The MCCA, aligning with Guahan's sustainable culture, decided to respond to pandemic issues that local farmers were facing.
And it just so happens that food sovereignty is also really, really beneficial for climate change and social justice. So taking that in mind, we decided to highlight that issue with our video series, using some of our funding as well, and just making our community consciousness a little bit more aware of the solutions and the problems that we have at hand.
You may also remember this beautiful Nan, former UNO gal Cami Aguiola. Her journey with Fungaisi began during Guam's first island-wide quarantine.
Micronesia Climate Change Alliance does a really good job about putting out all of this information into the community, and my way of adding to that was being kind of like a guinea pig, I guess. It was something that I learned about over the first quarantine that we had, the first lockdown that we had, and it was kind of just a log of my journey as well into living a more compassionate lifestyle that highlighted local foods and farmers. There's parts of the cookbook where it's basically like you're reading a story. You really feel good in a holistic way. In terms of the food and the way it tastes, I mean, there's no sacrifice, and they don't sacrifice taste at all.
All right, they got me 100% convinced. I got my copy of Fungaisi that same night and tried my hand at making both Francesca and Cami's favorite dish from the book.
It was oats caldo.
I love the oats caldo recipe.
So it's a plant-based take on arroz caldo or arroz potdu. It tastes amazing, and it's so simple. That's what I love about it. I like savory breakfast, so I eat it for breakfast, and it's something quick that I can meal prep and then eat for the rest of the week for breakfast.
She had me at simple. It's time for me to give this a try.
And welcome to my kitchen. So we are gonna be making Francesca and Cami's highly recommended oats scaldo. And like Cami said, one of the first ingredients I see here that is kind of odd, oats. So I guess that's gonna be the main replacement. So I have everything all prepped. I have the garlic, ginger, green onions, and lemon for garnish. And I have our oats vegetable broth and the vegetable oil. And then we're just gonna let this sit for a little bit. Whoa, let's go shot. Oh, that smell is coming through now. That smells nice. And here we have it, nice and hot right out the pot. Let's try this up. I'm going to stir it a bit. And I'm just hoping that it's not too hot, because this thing was like literally boiling. Yeah, it's like a hearty oatmeal. I actually would eat this because I am more of I love savory foods. So this in the morning, I think it's a great way to just like warm up your body, make you feel a little good, nice and hot for the day on a tropical island. And it's a great healthy alternative. So try this out yourself. I was able to get my hands on Fungaisi over at Payless. So get yours today, and they also have their ebook available, so better for the planet. I can't wait to try all the recipes from Fungaisi, and remember, you can too. Just go to any Payless and purchase your copy today, or you can always go to the MCCA website and get that ebook. Don't go away, more Uno Mix when we return. And welcome back to the show. It's time to shake things up with At the Bar Rewind. Hafa-day, everyone. I'm Tyler Matsinani. Thanks so much for joining us with another At the Bar. Today, we have wine connoisseur, if you will, Jason, here to tell us a bit some wine 101, if you will. So Jason, what have we got?
So today the idea is we're going to discuss wine 101. We're going to discuss New World wine. So what is New World wine? So New World wine would be consisted of California, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Chile, and Argentina. But today we're specifically focusing on California wines. It accounts for 90% of all production of wine in the US. And in California, we have 138 different districts inside of California, which is, they call them American Viticulture Areas, AVA. So that can be California as a whole, it can be Napa Valley, it can be Sonoma, it can be Sierra Foothills. It just really depends on where you really want to focus your wine from.
Okay, now I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one with this problem. I know how to open a wine, use the cork and everything, but my problem personally is trying to get the lining off of it. So I know you're going to teach us how to do that.
Okay, yeah, of course. It's a very simple procedure. We're gonna open one of the reds, you see here. We're gonna take the corkscrew, and I usually like going two ways. I'm left-handed, so I always like to go the second lip here, and you go one left, and you go one right. So it breaks it apart. Then you take the center right there, so you have a little cushion, and then you just slowly pull it off. Oh, sorry. And you take the foil, drop it like a boss.
Of course, he makes it look so easy. I usually have to cut all, and it's all jagged by the end, by the time I'm done.
But usually, I mean, this is, you know, the unique way it makes it look nice and presentable. If you're at a restaurant or at a table, you always want to look for that nice finish on the bottle. Okay. And then after that, you just easily want to stick your cork tip inside really hard, and then you just slowly or quickly, depending how strong you are, put it all the way inside. And then you see these pull tabs, they have two different opening sections. So you do the first one here, pull it like that. And then you have the second one that pulls just like this. And then it slowly pops.
Okay, now we have our wine open. Now we have to get it into the glass. So I'm not sure if there's a specific way to do it. I know it can get a bit messy. So Jason, can you show us the best way, in your opinion, to pour the wine? Of course,
usually you always want to have a little cloth, but if you don't have the time to have a cloth, it just basically you're pouring with a little finesse, a little swirl, and then you're doing a little twist. And then just like that. How do we taste wine? How do we identify wine? So identifying a wine is also by color. So when we look at a color, it also tells by different grape varietals. So right here, we look at this wine, we know it's a red wine. From that red wine color, we're looking at it if it's a full-bodied wine or light-bodied wine. So the darker the color, the more full-bodied wine it is. After that, when you're tasting wine, you always want to look at the legs of the wine. So what do the legs tell you? It tells you how much alcohol is in a wine. And everything about alcohol also tells you about what region the wine comes from. So warmer regions, higher alcohol, cooler regions, lesser alcohol. So now we're gonna smell the Callaway Merlot. So what do we smell inside? What are we getting?
Wine.
Well, we do get wine, it is wine. But after that,
it's really nice. It's not too, the alcohol isn't too strong. It's not burning your nose or anything like that.
Yeah, so that's the good thing is that, and especially New World, a lot of times there's a little more sugar inside. So it's a little more balanced, a little more easygoing for the new wine drinkers. So now, ready to taste? So you see I made that little noise. So that little noise really is putting air in your palate, so it's really opening up the wine a little bit more.
Oh, this is really good.
So now we identified it has that fruity characteristic, nice and balanced acidity, alcohol is not overpowering, the tannins are not too much, and a lot of times to find tannins in red wine, if they're drier tannins, they really stick to your teeth. So when your teeth get dry, that means it's a more bigger bodied, more tannins in your wine.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for teaching us a bit more on wine etiquette and what to look out for. Thank you guys for tuning in for another At the Bar episode. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
The bars may be closed, but at least we can still enjoy happy hour at home. When we come back, we've got our monthly roundup of Sunday vibes. That wraps up this Uno Mix. Remember, if you or anyone you know would like to be featured in our next episode for hustle, art, grub, or style, all you have to do is email me, tyler@kuam.com, and we'll get you on there. Remember to give a follow right down below, and we're gonna leave you with Sunday vibes. We'll see you next time.
I know you're somewhere out there waiting for me. Just know that I'll never stop looking for you. I know you're somewhere out there putting some time into yourself. Just know that I'll be here wishing, praying for you. 'Cause I'll give you my kind of love. That kiss you when you wake up, watch you do your makeup kind of love. See, I just wanna be your man, be there when you just can't stand. I'll be there when you fall. 'Cause I'll give you my kind of love. Say, girl,